Hello guys, welcome again. The faculty Emmanuel here, and I'm gonna be your instructor for today's section. Okay, in the previous section we talked about classes versus IDs, and in this section we're going to be talking about CSS images. And without further ado, let's dive right in. So basically I have my Visual Studio Code up, and I have my index.html, which is for my markup. I have my style.css, right? And I have an image here. Okay, so I have already linked my CSS file to my index.html. So let's go ahead and talk about images in CSS. Basically, when we were treating HTML, we talked about images, and you know how to various ways of inserting images to your web page, and we talked about the absolute parts, and then we talked about the relative part. So I'm going to be using a relative part today because I already have my image here. So let's go ahead and input our image using our image tag img, and then I put my source attribute, so it's gonna be my image. Alright, and then I'm just gonna say love CapacityBay. Alright, so I'm gonna run this live, and let's see what we have. So basically I have my image in my web page. Let me go ahead and make this okay, divide this. Alright, so I'm going to close this. Okay, fine. Let me add a h1 with CSS Images, and I have that there. So basically I have my image here like HTML would do. I would want to style my image using CSS. There are different ways I could change effects, beautify my image using CSS, and we're going to be talking about that. So let's go to style the CSS, and I'm just going to be targeting only the image basically, because that's what we're doing today. And then I'm going to use the img because it's a HTML element, so I can select it using the HTML tag img, and because that's the only image on my web page. So I could as well give it a class name. I could come here and give it a class, maybe give it a class of my image something. Alright, and then come to my CSS and then grab it using my .image, and then okay, fine. Now let me go ahead and I could actually make my image circle in a circle format. So let's go ahead and try that. We have a property called border radius, and then let's go ahead and give it 50%, and then my image has turned to be an oval shape, right? I'm able to achieve that using the HTML property border radius with a value of 50%. You could actually trick this, change it to wherever you want. I can change it to 10%, I can change it to 20% or wherever, 20%. You can see it actually changes the radius of my also could be 100 and so on. Basically, why it's not giving us a direct or rather an equal size is because our image, so that's why it's not giving us that. So basically, if I take this off, our image doesn't have equal sides. So if I want to, I could give it different, maybe a width and height with the same property. So let's give it a width of let's give it 400 pixel, and then a height of 400 pixel, and then it's gonna give us that equal. All right, that circle, that perfect circle, right? So basically we have some more stuff we could do with this. This is just one of it. I could as well add the filter. So I'm going to add a filter the filter property, and then we have different filters. I could actually blur it, all right, maybe 5 pixel blur, and then my image is going to be blurred, right? I could go ahead and change this to maybe fill or opacity. I can change the opacity to, let's say, 0.7. You can see it reduces my opacity. Now there are so many filter properties, values. If we look over here, we have as many as possible. We have the brightness, we have the contrast, drop shadow, grayscale. All right, we have them located here. So you could as well, Visual Studio Code would help you using the emmet, help you give you all these intelligence. So you could as well change the filter of your image. All right, change the saturation. If we want to change the saturation, could change saturation to maybe 50%. You can see. All right, so basically that's for that. We could actually create a card, all right, with our image. So let me go to my index and let me add this image inside a container, a div. Let's call it con, and then I'm definitely going to put this inside my div, and then let's go ahead and style the div dot the con, and I'm going to give it maybe a width of 100. Let's give it 70%. For us to see that, to give it a background color of red. All right, so I want my image to have 100% of its width. I'm going to take this out, width 100%. all right, and I'm also going to add something. I'm going to add I'm going to call it my text, my txt. This is going to contain my paragraph, all right, which is let's just put it here, my text goes here. All right, so we have that there, and let's go ahead and style this. So basically I could give that particular my txt, I'll give it a background color of white. All right, and then I could give it a width of 100%, which is already there, and then text align center. All right, and then I gave my image a width of 100%, and let's give it a height of auto. I want it to just take the height, the amount of height of its parent container. So my width, my div is having 70%, and we're having a space here. All right, we're having a space here, which is by default. We have default margin and padding on all our elements, so we're going to go ahead and take that out using our margin dot let's use the asterisk, which is for global, and then margin 0, padding 0. all right, so basically we just took that off, and then I'm going to give my con more like background color, or rather not a background color, a border of let's say 2 pixel. Sorry. All right, okay, now I'm going to take out this background color, and I could definitely take this to the middle of my page. So I could take my image using the margin 0 auto, and then it centers my image, and I'm able to get this. All right, So basically that will be the end of this section. We know we can actually tweak our images using CSS. We could also actually add hover effects, and I guess we'll do that later on in this course. So thank you. Like, share and subscribe, hit the bell notification icon to get notified whenever we drop a new video. Thank you, and see you in the next one.